Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here. Big fight yesterday. Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko, I should say, and Teofimo Lopez, man. We got a lot to talk about. It was a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? So many things in that fight to the naked eye, you know what I mean, that you might have missed. You know what I mean? A lot of people probably got bored in the fight and they were probably, there's just a lot going on, man, in that fight, man. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. As for me, guys, I hurt my back, so I'm a little tweaked right now. So I don't know when I'm gonna do my next instructional, but we're gonna do a little bit of Q&A today. But we're mainly gonna focus today on Lomachenko and Lopez. What a man! I don't even know what to say, man. It was just a fight that I'm not gonna say I was surprised, but I am a little surprised at how the fight went. But we're gonna talk about it, man. Let me go ahead and shout some people out here before we get started. All right, we got Kotoko, what's good? Jahir, what's going on? Raheem, Stormtrooper, Patrick, what's going on, guys? Man, we gonna get into this, man. But without further ado, you know that this won't be right without the one, the only, the fastest man that ever put on a pair of gloves. The one and only, Fast Eddie Chambers. What's good, baby?
I'm good, but put on gloves, and I would love for that to be true.
The fastest guy that ever put on a pair of gloves, pound for pound. Pound for pound. Tell me another heavyweight that could throw combinations the way you threw them. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait. See, I don't hear nothing. We gotta get right to this. We're not gonna waste the people's time. We're gonna get right to this. Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. Now I got my phone charging. I had a few people. I got my phone charging because I'm gonna pull out what my scorecards were. You know what I mean? But first, I want to get your thoughts on the fight. Your thoughts on Teofimo Lopez, you know what I mean? Because this was really his coming out party. This was the 100%. Fight that was going to define him, let people know, you know what I'm saying, how good he really is. And he just beat, arguably, one of the best lightweights or super lightweights, right, in recent times. I mean, like, you tell me a fighter that has
maybe of all time, yeah.
Really Lomachenko in the last 10 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Or ever, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to go that far. I'm saying as far as on paper. So, you know what I mean? Listen, I'm the coach, but you're the fighter. You've been in the ring. You fought for the world title. You fought some of the best fighters in the world. You know what Teofimo Lopez, was feeling that night, so to speak, as far as the butterflies and having to, you know what I mean, perform, and especially perform and then be successful performing. Let's talk about it and tell me what you saw, what your thoughts was.
Well, to be honest, I already thought he was one of the top young fighters in the world. You know what I mean? Not even just young fighters, just one of the top fighters in the world. His skill level was super, super ridiculously high too. And I think because Lomachenko was so great, great, that people was overlooking how good Lopez is too. And I think that was a little bit, I don't want to say disrespectful. It was just they were overlooking it because of how good, like I said, Lomachenko is. So it kind of just overshadowed his ability. But the fact that he was a little bit heavier, he's naturally bigger, on top of having like fight-changing power, which he does have, really was, I think, what got the fight going the way it did. Plus, Lomachenko been off a while. And even Lopez said it at the end of after the fight was over, in his interview, that they understood, they caught him at a good time, because from what I seen throughout the fight, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna stick to this right now. I'm not even going to talk about how what I thought went down with Lomachenko and how great he was, and how I kind of missed things in the past in his fights because he was so much better than the guys he was in the ring with that you kind of overlook it. Everybody pays attention and sees how good. Oh man, he does this and that. But it's even in the face of a guy like a Teofimo Lopez, who's just he's nice, man. He's really nice, and to be able to still do some of the things that he did against not so nice guys in there, to be as dominant as I mean, he obviously wasn't dominant because he didn't win the fight, but in the rounds he was winning toward the end of the fight. He started to dominate things.
Now,
But
go ahead.
no, go ahead. What were you gonna say? That?
I'll say it sounds like you were impressed with Lomachenko, but
Both.
my thing is this. All right. Oh, well, go ahead. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, what I'm saying is Lopez. I think there was things that people were kind of misconceptions in it, and people overlooking this and overlooking that, because like I said, Lopez was bigger, naturally bigger, and
you can see that. You can see that he was bigger in the ring yesterday. Like I didn't notice it in the ring, but I noticed it in the ring.
Right, but even with that, it's like the experience of Lomachenko could deal with that. He should be able to deal with that. But he wasn't going to be the man in there as easy as he was in the other fights because the guys were more his size. You understand what I'm saying? He's able to dominate when he doesn't have a disadvantage in size and all that other stuff. It's like with me when I'm fighting heavyweights. I'm always at a disadvantage in there no matter what. So I got to be great to win at a high level. You know what I'm saying? People are not going to think that or feel like that because that's the way it is. When you look at guys like Lomachenko, and even 5 to 6 pounds at those weights are major step ups. You understand what I'm saying? So him fighting at 135 at the lightweight limit is different than him fighting at 130. It may seem like it's not that much, and I'm looking at it like, yo, come on, man, I'm fighting guys 40 pounds heavier, and no, it's not that big of a jump. But with all the added speed and skill that these guys have on top of the size, it just sometimes makes it a little insurmountable. Not the case with Lomachenko. I don't think. I think it was just he wasn't on the top of his game because of the layoff. I give him a little bit of for that, and it's also because Teofimo Lopez is the real deal, no doubt. Like I feel like he's as good as anybody in boxing.
Let me get to the good part. How did you score it? Because there was a lot of controversy at the end of the scorecards. I'm gonna go ahead and get my phone because I got it scored exactly how I scored it. I made sure I did that because I knew that there might be a possibility of something going on. I mean, if anybody get robbed in a fight, you wouldn't expect it to be Lomachenko, right? You would be like, if anybody's gonna get robbed, it's Teofimo Lopez due to the fact that Lomachenko's got the bigger name. But as a lot of Lomachenko fans feel that he got the shit end of the stick, part of my French, as far as the big separation, the wide margins on the scorecards. How did you have that fight going into when that last bell? Let me go get my phone and before you answer that, hold on.
Okay, all right. Take your time, man. Don't be fucking with your back, man. Come on.
Yeah,
we need that. We need that coach hand. We need help. We need help.
My back, and then I went ahead and I trained. I had these kids. They came all the way from Dallas to train with me, and I was gonna cancel my training session because my back. He told me no, we leave today. So I literally just said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, take a few of leave, go in there, and suck it up. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna make sure that I get this job done. I forgot to take the leave. I was rolling mitts. I was feeling good too. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm loosened up, and then I could feel it when I stood too long.
Yeah.
And then I was like, damn, I should. It's like leaving your food in the microwave too long. And then I felt it again. So right now I'm just trying to take it easy, man. But anyway, back to the fight. Enough about me crying about my back injury. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all don't want to hear about that, but
you need a backy out of me, man.
You know what I mean? But all right, so how did you have it?
Honestly, I had it a draw. I think I gave Lomachenko one of the early rounds. I can't remember exactly what round it was. I think it was two or three or something, one of them rounds. And That was close. So, there was maybe a round or two that was like, you could have interchanged which one you thought he won, you know what I'm saying? But in the first half of the fight, but I don't think he won much more than one round in the first half of the fight, Lomachenko. And I had maybe 7-11, Lomachenko.
So
Maybe 7. I think 7-11. Yeah, 7-11, and definitely big finish for Lopez though. That's why
I was proud of him for that because
I was too. Yeah.
For me, look, I know people ain't gonna be able to like really register what I'm saying it quick, but I basically gave Lomachenko rounds 2 and rounds 4. I gave him round 2 and round 4.
Okay.
Now, those rounds that I gave Lomachenko, I only gave it to Lomachenko because I felt that Lopez didn't do anything, and I felt that the little bit better work was done by Lomachenko in rounds 2 and round 4. So if you guys get a chance to go back and look at that fight, check those rounds out. And then I gave Lomachenko's round 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you got 2 of the beginning rounds, 4 of the last 6. That's 6 rounds. Going into the 12th round, I told myself, I said, Lopez this round to get a draw. I said, because I even said it on Twitter. I said, I said Lopez father saying that they won the fight. I said I disagree. I got Lomachenko winning. I actually had Lomachenko winning going into the 12th round.
Right. Yeah, me too.
And then they had a draw. Now, what I will say is this: the rounds that Lomachenko won, Teofimo Lopez was still being competitive.
Yeah.
The rounds that Teofimo Lopez won, Lomachenko did absolutely nothing. There was no debate that Teofimo Lopez won those rounds. If you're a big bias, or even if you were looking at it from a different angle, you might have given Teofimo Lopez some of those rounds that we thought that Lomachenko won. You dig what I'm saying?
I'm with you on it for the most part, but I felt like the ones that Lomachenko was winning toward the end of the fight were as dominant as anything. I get what you're saying about there was no doubt that Lopez won those, like a lot of the early rounds that he won, because he was winning them and Lomachenko wasn't throwing shots. But the rounds that Lomachenko was winning toward the end of the fight looked like sometimes, man, he might stop, boy. You understand what I'm saying? So it was like he was winning rounds major too. Like some of them rounds, you couldn't really argue that Lomachenko didn't really dominate it. Not no 10-8 domination, but he dominated the rounds. Like some of those rounds, like when you say you gave him 8-11, for the most part, with the exception of the very end of round 11, where he had a couple good shots he landed, he was getting beat to the point where I was like, yo, he might stop this dude. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn.
But all right, so going to what you were saying, I did see moments that it looked like Lomachenko was about to do the unthinkable and pull a stoppage. And I was about to say that's about to be one of the smartest strategic moves that I've seen a boxer do in a very long time. But it almost backfired on him in the 12th round.
He was getting caught. He was getting caught.
Like he was going to get caught. So with that being said, I said to myself, if Lomachenko would have took chances earlier in the fight, he might have won. But would he have gotten knocked out taking those chances? Because we saw that even in the 12th round, Teofimo Lopez was able to sting him and was able to let him know that, listen, I'm still here. I'm here to fight. So, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things where I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Well, this is the thing I was going to get to eventually. I'm like, when I was watching Lomachenko early in the fight and what he was doing, and it's like you have to understand boxing. That's like I love Tim Bradley. I love what he did in the ring, even him as a commentator. But you got to be able to see these things as a fighter. Like I listen to Andre Ward and some of the stuff he's saying, and they're not really commenting on every little aspect because they don't have a lot of time to go back and forth with that stuff. But the stuff that I was watching, I was like, damn, this dude is really high level, like on another level. And I'm talking about Lomachenko now. Even though he's losing the fight, I'm watching everything he's doing. I'm seeing him fainting to one side. I'm seeing him fainting, double fainting, triple fainting.
Go ahead. So, tell the people what you saw. Like, you know what I'm saying? like show the people? Can you like demonstrate real quick what you saw?
Damn, I can't really. I don't think I'll be able to get.
Sitting down, you know what I'm saying?
Oh well, like for example, him I can't do it because I'm holding the phone. Because the way if I was able to sit it down, I'd be able to do it. But what I'll do is I'll tell you this: he's a southpaw. Lopez is orthodox. So what he was doing was, and most southpaws or orthodox guys, when fighting a southpaw, don't really have the ability to use their jab comfortably. You know, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. But what he did was he feinted him so much without throwing anything, that it kind of got him to be just kind of like complacent, right? It got it. And then not only did he feint him, he feinted him, and then he also feinted him and did a defensive movement off it to get to the outside of his left hand. You understand what I'm saying? So just in case, because we know Teofimo likes that counter right hand and that counter right uppercut, right? So he
got all close to landing a roll right uppercut several times.
But you know what?
And Lomachenko just missed Lomachenko.
Because Lomachenko knew it. He waited 5 rounds or 5 or 6 rounds without really putting a lot of effort into it. Not say effort, he was putting effort to it. But before he started really striking, this is the part why I say it's real high level stuff that people ain't really seeing. Is because he's feinting. Head feints, shoulder feints, hand feints, foot feints, all to that side without throwing a punch. Not to disguise, oh, I want to throw a big left hand or a hook, but to disguise that he wanted to be able to get his jab off comfortably, right? And he had him so comfortable with the idea of him not punching that he couldn't react when he started punching because he was not prepared to react. Even when he knew the shot was coming, by the time he released it, he was hit already.
Do you think that was the game plan to wait that long? Do you think that he had to wait that long?
I feel like he had to, in a sense. I feel like he probably wanted to wait maybe 3 or 4. But he saw, and this is why you got to watch him, because this dude is a next level genius in the ring, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna say it now, because all of that what he was doing, there was times you would see him get a little bit antsy and want to throw shots a little bit, but then Lopez would hit him with like throw a nice counter right uppercut to the body, or he would throw a nice counter shot or a nice check hook or something, and he was like, "It ain't ready yet. It's not ready yet. I gotta wait a couple more seconds or maybe another round before I jump in there and start getting caught with these counter shots." And then all of a sudden, he's on him. And like I told you, he feinted him so much and didn't throw a punch that when he would go and feint, or when he didn't even have to feint anymore. He could actually throw his shot because he knew that he wasn't going to react to it, because he wasn't ready to react to it, because he didn't have to react to it for 5 rounds. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So by the time he did start trying to react, he was like, okay, he got to a point in the fight where he's like, oh, I'm going to get hit with that jab. Fuck it. I'm not even going to try to stop it no more. But what I'm going to do is I'll take that little shot and I'm going to return that counter shot, right? So he tried it. But Lomachenko, like I told you, with the feints, he feinted that jab, that right jab, and would then, if Lopez was ready and prepared to react, he would go off again to the outside to get away from that counter right uppercut or that counter right hand. Right. That's why he was missing. Even after Lomachenko started landing the jab and landing those left hands, he still had that in his pocket where if this dude sits down, I know he's going to bring that shot. So all I got to do is get on the outside and then fire back my left hook. I know it sounds crazy. You might not understand you might not be following me now. But after I make him miss that right uppercut, then I'm going to return my left hook from a southpaw stance. If you understand what I'm saying, it's hard for me to show it to you without having a video, because I wish we had a clip. And he did it several times. And he caught.
Run it back one more time, because I was thinking of something that I was just doing. Say it one more time.
He would throw his jab.
Who would throw the jab? Who would throw the jab?
Lomachenko. Lomachenko would throw his jab.
I'm gonna demonstrate right now for the people.
Well,
bang.
Right. Then he would either double it or he would just throw it one. And when he started to be a little more active with combinations, he didn't really necessarily do the move to the outside, but he would angle or try to get outside of Lopez's left hand. His
So
jab
he
hit.
stepped to his right as he threw the jab.
No, he would jab first, then he would get to the outside after it. So he couldn't return right. So he couldn't return the right uppercut.
If he wanted it.
He would have that, and Lopez would not have the opportunity to land that right uppercut either. And he would sometimes feint to get him to make that move and then double jab him after it and then step off and then try to throw his. And the shot he was throwing, that I was saying, was the left hook, was from his backhand. You understand what I'm saying? On the outside.
Yeah, but that's not now. Let's talk about some of the good stuff that Lopez was doing, because what I saw Lopez doing was Lopez was throwing a lot of looping shots around the side. He popped that stick and he looped the right hook, which in turn prevented Lomachenko from circling one direction, which really created an angle. And he kept a really nice stiff jab and he controlled range, I thought, very well for the first half of the fight. I mean, it was very thought out. The only thing that I can see is when Lomachenko picked up the pace, it just seemed like Lopez was having a hard time dealing with that pace until the 12th round.
Wasn't even, you know what? I agree with that to a degree, the pace, yeah, because he knew that was going to be in the second half of the fight a problem. But I'm telling you.
Because now, hold on. Because
it was the prep.
Before we get into the technical stuff that Lomachenko was doing, he was also being very roughhouse. He pulled out a lot of roughhouse tactics come the second half of the fight. He was grabbing him. He was hitting with his free hand.
Yeah, he was doing that.
Very mean come round 8. He looked mean, like, I'm here to fight now. This is a fight. And I think that he thought that he waited long enough to take away some of Lopez's power, so then he could go ahead and take those risks without a price to pay. That's what it looked like to me.
That's another thing too. That was a good assessment too, because that was also part of it, of the whole thing. Is like in the beginning of the fight, he knew I'm not a fast starter, but he's not a fast starter. He could be a fast starter if he wanted to. Has nothing to do with him. Oh, I'm trying to just sit in here and wait for rounds, this and that, for the guys to get tired. He could be a fast starter if he wanted to. It just depends on the guy he's fighting. There's been fights where he won every round from 1 to 12 or from 1 to whenever he knocked the guy out. It was because of Lopez that he had to be a slower starter in this fight than anything. Plus, he's been on a 14-month.
What did you like from Lopez?
Lopez, man, look, I already knew he's a extremely talented fighter and boxer. So his counter-punching ability and power and explosiveness in general, just the power with speed, which is explosive. His explosiveness is on another level than what most people thought. Now, granted, like I said, Lomachenko was a little smaller, but his skill level is super high. But when you see a guy with a high skill level like Lomachenko still struggle at spots to be able to get this dude where he wants him, that shows you how well schooled Lopez is, how talented he is, how explosively dangerous he is in the ring for anyone. His jab, his counter punching ability with the right hand, straight right hand, right uppercut, right hook, whatever. Counter check, he got checks, he got everything. He got everything you want. He's explosive as anything, athletic as anything out there right now. And the reason that I still think Lomachenko at this point still is over him. No matter what happened with the decision, I still feel like he did well enough that he could have pulled the decision out, but shit, either way. You know what I mean? I felt like it was a draw, and that's what I thought the scorecard should be, but it didn't happen. But
so let me ask you a question, because I looked at it like this: you can argue a draw.
Yeah.
You can argue that Teofimo Lopez won. I don't see an argument that Lomachenko won, and the reason why I say that is because Lomachenko waited too long.
I get it.
Everything.
But
so a lot of people that are upset about the decision, I say to myself, look, I could understand you're upset about 119, 109, or whatever the scorecard was. That's
even 116, 112, all of those scorecards, in my opinion, were too wide.
But at the same time, you can't debate that Lomachenko won that fight. You can't.
Lopez.
You can't. Look, if somebody said Lomachenko got robbed, he won, I would say,
I don't know about that.
About boxing. Right?
Hold on.
If somebody says Teofimo Lopez won that fight, I can't really debate that.
You can't. But how about this? What did you say at the beginning? Didn't you say I had Lomachenko up going into the 12th? Now we know.
Okay, now the reason I gave Lomachenko rounds, and like the rounds that I gave him, look, the early rounds that I gave Lomachenko,
they were like this.
I gave it to him only because I didn't see anything Lopez did extravagant. If I had to give it to somebody, I give it to
Lomachenko.
Right? The rounds that Tio won, there was no debate.
Right, because there was no offense coming back.
The 2 rounds that I gave Lomachenko, if somebody wanted to be biased and say Tio won those rounds, you can't debate it that much either, though.
And I wouldn't debate it. But I would say this, because I didn't even give him the 4th. I gave him the 2nd, and I think I was the second or the 4th, one of those rounds. And I gave him the rest from 7 on. I mean, on 7 to 11. Then Teofimo got 12. But if you have, no matter why, if you got to be able to win a round by a large margin and by a little margin. You just got to be able to win it. You got to find a way to pull it out. If you gave those rounds to Lomachenko, no matter whether it was by a mile or by an inch, he still won the round on your card. So if that's the case, say he goes in that 12th round and wins it.
Then Lomachenko
wins the fight. So when you say the same thing, what if the scorecard that I gave had that extra 4th round in it? Then that's 7-5 for Lomachenko, even though he lost the 12th. You understand what I'm saying? Because I didn't have the 4th or one of those rounds I didn't have for Lomachenko. I had it for Lopez, right? So if you take that round and say, I'm gonna have your scorecard and plus the rounds I thought he won in the end of the fight, then Lomachenko wins it by a round. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that I felt like he won. I felt like the fight should have been a draw. With the argument of Lopez winning, I'm with that because he was so dominant early, and there were certain rounds that I was just like, yo, I don't see how Lomachenko could win. But then I reviewed and I started looking at the nice little shit he was doing and how he played him. And then in the second half of the fight took over until the 12th round, of course. And I was like, damn, this dude is really a special guy in there. He knows what he's doing, like on another level.
So do you think they're gonna rematch? And then I'm gonna start bringing some of these questions on here, bro. Do you think they're gonna rematch, or do you think they're just gonna move on?
For Lopez, I would say I would hope not. For him, I hope not, because you don't want to give that dude another chance.
Hope not for Lopez?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you why. He had that whole first half of the fight to download information, and you've seen how he controlled it, even in the face of that tough 12th round that he had. You understand what I'm saying? With a guy like Lomachenko, I wouldn't want to give him another opportunity. It's like when he fought Salido again. I wouldn't want to give him another opportunity. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not in the best interest of the fighter he's fighting because he has too much information on him. Could you imagine having to spar that dude every day? Could you imagine that shit?
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Think about it. Like if I sparred somebody for a while and they was getting the better of me, which happened with different people I was working with at one point, and eventually I figured it out. And once I figured it out, it was no going back. That's the kind of guy he is. He downloads information like a computer. He's like a fucking robot. And it's like, I just wouldn't want to take a chance on putting my star in there with him when he's already struggling to make this weight. Be smart. Go ahead and be a star at 140 because I feel like you can beat them dudes up there. I feel like you can beat them dudes pretty much anywhere if you stay smart and don't get too cocky in your fame right now and still keep and stay who you are. Stay focused, keep training hard, I see Johnny.
You see the comment? Hold on, let me shout this out on Instagram. Instagram, as you can see, we are live on YouTube. Doing huge.
Johnny's ass puts that up there.
I'm about to start bringing people on real soon. Get in here, Coach Anthony Boxing.
I want to say something to what Johnny just says. That Teofimo took away a lot of his angles. He did. That's a good assessment. But the thing is, he didn't take away certain things. And when you take away, remember, like we said, Teofimo's elite. He is the elite of elite. So there's going to be certain things that Lomachenko has to adjust to, and he's not going to be able to do what he does against, like, I don't like Rocky Martinez. I think it was Rocky Martinez and dudes like that. Even the last, damn, what's his name? I can't remember. But guys like high level guys, but not.
Gonzalez said no way it was a draw.
Huh? Who said it?
Rose Gonzalez. No way.
No way it was a draw. The way it was a draw.
114. See, I like what this guy said, and you like that's acceptable to me.
Those are absolutely acceptable. Both of them. I said if they was going to give it to Lopez, 115, 130 would have been my scorecard. You know what I'm saying? But no way it was a draw. Like, no way it was those scorecards were acceptable is what I would have said. Those scorecards were ridiculous. Those scorecards, how you only going to give him one round when it was a chance to look like he was about to stop Lopez? Like, come on, doggy. Like, look, I'm not biased at all. I mean, I'm just looking at how good these fighters are. And if you win, you win. Like, I ain't mad at it Lopez got it. I'm happy for him. But you can't ignore how good a fighter Lomachenko is. And he didn't get dominated like that. Early on, yes. But he took over toward the end of the fight, and he made his case. But, I mean, I still don't think he won. I thought it was a draw.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It was definitely an interesting fight. Not sure if I ever want to watch that fight again.
I do. I fucking do. Yes, absolutely. Because
watch it again.
It got me hyped for boxing, that kind of shit. Because it was like, all right, we knew it was going to be a good fight. We figured it might be a good fight. We know those could be sleepers because of how good the fighters are. Sometimes they don't really act, but it had enough dramatic things happen. Plus the skill level was on another level, dude. Like, that's the kind of shit I like. I like high skill with action. And toward the end of that fight, that's what you saw.
Yeah, second half of that fight was, the first half was interesting. Second half was exciting. My scorecard was a draw. I gave Lomachenko rounds 2, rounds 4, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes out to 6 rounds. I had it a draw. I thought that Lomachenko was going to steal it in that 12th round. I thought that Lopez was going to try to box and move, but Lopez showed that he got grit. He has intuition. He was supposed to go out there and finish the job. Even though his father was absolutely right. If the scorecards were the way they were supposed to be, Lopez did what he was supposed to do to pull back into that fight and get a draw. I think that the level of concentration needed to fight a guy like Lomachenko is so high, and I think that in moments of that fight, Teofimo showed that he was losing concentration just a little, but then he got right back in it. And I tell you what, man, I would love to see a rematch. I would love to see a rematch for both of them because I feel that Lomachenko deserves it. He was a undisputed champion. He deserves a rematch. And I think that Teofimo Lopez deserves to show that he can beat him. I really believe that he can beat him in a rematch this time. If Lomachenko jumps on it early, it could be two different things. It could end bad for Loma, or it could end bad for Teofimo. So the fight is so intriguing. No matter how you look at it, the fight is so intriguing. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I gotta.
What was your scorecard, Ant?
No. I already said it. I mean, the moment. I want to big shout out to Tony Boswell. Thank you for the donation, man. Everything counts. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. That was dope. Coach Anthony, do you think? Coach Anthony, do you think what Lopez's father said to Loma became? Hold on. What? Coach Anthony, Lopez's father said when Loma became close, pushed him back? I thought that was good instruction.
It was very good.
Very good professional boxing instruction. And you know what's crazy, Eddie? In our defense principle one-on-one video that we made, remember when we talked about pushing a guy down and sometimes you got to resort to these tactics? Me and Eddie I literally have it where I'm teaching it and Eddie's demonstrating where we talk about pushing a guy as part of the defense. And that's on the website, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Shameless plug, I know. But at the end of the day, you guys need to know that the stuff that we teach in those instructionals, you can actually listen. And now how to create angles, I saw so much of that too yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people when it comes to angles, angles are difficult and easy to deal with. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to deal with the angles, they're easy. If you get frozen, you get hit with the angle. And as you can see that Lopez didn't get frozen for the first half of the fight with the angles. Second half he did, and you kind of see both sides of it. You saw him controlling Loma, and then you saw Loma executing. So yesterday's chess match was really good because you got to see both sides of it. So on the website, check those out, man. I guarantee you're gonna download it and say to yourself, damn, the stuff Coach Anthony teaching, we just saw in the damn world-class professional fight, man. It's crazy, yo. Sometimes I watch these fights, Eddie, and I say to myself, it's crazy, like the stuff that we done taught, and then you see it happening, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see it all the time. You know, this is why when I was watching this fight, I'm like, damn, this is like just looking at the high level stuff and then being able to see it. See, that's what I'm saying with some of these guys who were really, really high level pros, and it's like sometimes they just don't know how to relay the information. Even if they can talk, even if they can speak intelligently, they still don't really understand how to relay the information to someone. You know what I mean? That's a gift too. You know what I mean? You might be able to do it, but not everybody can teach it. And even speaking and coming across to people, it's like with you, you got a gift for that. Like you come across to people and they really understand what you're saying. And then there's a way too that you're speaking to them. You know what I mean? Plus you got you're young enough, you know what I mean, to come across a lot of guys older and they don't really have the connection to the young crowd as much, or people who are interested in boxing at that point. So it's hard to really like I said, for them to come across properly. But you do have that gift. But when I look at some of these other guys, even though, like I said, they can speak well, like you look at Tim, it's like, oh, he's supposed to be able to recognize this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to know what's going on with the fight. Like I seen him praising Lopez in the first half, which was no doubt he was doing his thing. But you got to see what's going on. Right. You got to see what the dude is doing and how he's downloading information and where he's feinting and why he's not throwing punches. You got to understand all these things. And this is why when I'm watching Lomachenko, I'm like, I'm so impressed with what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And then how he executed it down the stretch of the fight. You know what I mean? It shows high level professionalism. You have to be able to see that. Now, I'm not saying he's not a.
Ward saw it like we saw it.
That's what I'm saying. He saw what we saw. I'm not saying Tim didn't see it. He did see it.
Yeah.
But he saw it late.
This is funny, Eddie. I ain't even going to lie. It's funny.
No, he saw it late, though.
Look at this guy wrote.
Oh, is it?
Logan, that was funny, yo. I got to give you props for that one. That's funny. They kind of do look like you on the toilet right now.
I'm in my dining room. I ain't no damn toilet.
Yeah, that's funny as hell.
Hey, there is no toilet back here. I'm thinking about doing that shit today too, though.
Right. Coach Anthony, do you think that if Loma had an intent, it could have been a knockout? I do believe that either fighter last night could have got knocked out. If Loma would have started the fight the way he started at the end, I think he could have knocked out Tio, and I think he could have got knocked out. I think that fight could have went either way as far as knockout goes. It was probably best for Lomachenko to wait a little bit because it showed that as the rounds progressed and Teofimo started to settle in and get comfortable with that fast pace, he was able to time something. So I think that Lomachenko did the right thing by doing that. Hold on.
I'm still laughing at that shit that nigga said.
Some boxers, no boxing. Some just boxing. Rush.
I'm still laughing at that shit, Joe. That shit was funny.
I tell you what, listen, guys, I'm about to put this link down here. Bro, Rasheen, get in here with us real quick if you see this.
Yeah, that's a good ass statement. I just read it. Some boxers, no boxers. Some just in box. That's 100% true. That's 100% true.
All right, guys, the link is in there. Rasheem Jefferson, click that link. Get in here. Come chop it up with us for a second. And people, that goes out to everybody. Oh, look at this. This is dope. This is funny. Oh, here's another 5 for that new NBA 2K, Eddie. Oh, you $5, Eddie.
Thank you, man. Whoever that was, I definitely want to get that shit.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
This is the generation one, though. The old one I got already, so we're going to have to get the new one.
And let me tell you, we're doing some numbers tonight on this stream, guys. So I really appreciate the love and support, man.
Yeah, good looking out.
To really, really do some numbers. We're doing some numbers, man, for sure. Trying to see who gets in here, though. My guys, if you click that link, that will bring you in here. You know what I'm saying? So you click that link, put it down there one more time. All right? And let's bring my man in here, the one, the only, Mr. Moonshine in this right here. What's going on, man? Where you at, Mr. Moonshine?
What? Oh, yo, I'm driving in the highway. That's why.
Oh,
You hear me?
We need you to do your live stream, man.
Hey, Coach Anthony, the most renowned trainer in the world. Eddie Chambers in the building. Oh, baby. What a wonderful night. We walked into a new era.
Yo, Moonshine.
You.
Say that one more time. About me being the most renowned trainer. I'm about to record you. Ready and go.
The most renowned trainer in the world, Coach Anthony, baby. You want to learn boxing? You go to him. You getting bullied? You go to him. You want to be a champion? You go to Coach Anthony, baby. World renowned trainer, the best, Hall of Famer.
Yo, my
man, you on your way, man.
Yo, my man. Yo, you're hired. You're automatically Coach Anthony. You're automatically. I need somebody to hype me up like that at all times. I need that.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get this shit too.
I got you. What's good, Eddie Chambers? What's good, champ?
Big
good, man. How are you?
Thank you for the love, baby. The donations are much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. Man, it really is. I appreciate it. Never required. It was always appreciated. Hold on, we got none other than Johnny!
What up?
Hey, Johnny.
What's up, Johnny?
Johnny, cut it, dog. It's time to cut it.
What you saw yesterday?
I had 7 rounds to 5 to Fimo. I thought that 12th round he pulled it off.
It's not bad. It's not a bad scorecard.
Yeah, I think Lomachenko gave up to me at the beginning. They started coming on too late.
Moonshine, who'd you have?
I had Teofimo Lopez, the king of this generation. The king, Teofimo. I had it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Teofimo. Had it 7, a swing round. Had it 8, Loma. 9, Loma. 10, swing round. You could give it a Loma. 11, Loma, the best round he had. And then 12, Teofimo Lopez came back with the energy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to stop for a second. We got none other than Rashid Jefferson. Party in here right now.
What?
Yo, Rashid, who you have?
I had it a draw.
Yo, see?
I had it a draw. You couldn't complain if they gave it to Lopez by a round.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
115, 113, cool for Lopez. Other than that, it was a draw.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was saying, I gave rounds 2 and 4 to Lomachenko only because I felt that Lomachenko did a little bit better. And I gave 8, 9, 10, and 11 to Lomachenko. So that's 6-6.
I gave him this 2 and 7 through 11.
Yeah.
2 and 7 through 11.
Yep.
12 wasn't even bad for Loma though. It was a toss around, but I can see why people gave it to Lopez.
Now, I was trying to get Reggie in here.
I agree. I gave Lomachenko 2, 7, like I think 7 to 11 until Fimo 12. That made the difference.
Yeah.
But can I ask y'all a question? How y'all gave Lomachenko? How
Hey,
y'all
I'm
gave
listening to
Lomachenko
you,
2?
bro. I'm listening to you, and everything you said was on point, bro.
Yeah, thanks,
Everything
bro.
about
Okay.
how Lomo downloaded all the information. Everything he done was calculated. Know what I'm saying?
Everything.
He knew he knew what moves he can make and what moves he couldn't make. When to throw and when not to throw.
100%. 100%.
And
That
so
experience,
you say you gave him round 4. I can see why you can give him round 4 because
Yeah.
all the things he done, he limited Lopez to just a jab or just whatever he was throwing.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was being as unbiased as you possibly could be. You feel me? And I literally scored it as it was happening in the 11th round when Lopez Pop said, "Yo, we got it in the bag." I was like, "That's the worst information."
Hell no.
Dog.
It's
It's like what Real
I
said.
was like, "Oh shit, he was right."
It's like what Real said. It's like he said exactly what he said. It's like over the first half of the fight, like even though like he might have snuck a round or two in, it wasn't about that for him. It was about getting him to fall asleep at the wheel. That's what he was doing. He had him so comfortable with nothing coming. When the stuff started to come, he wasn't ready to do anything. He
Floyd
just
Mayweather did it his whole career. He
yep,
was asleep with a jab, a check hook, or a right hand.
yep.
After the 6th round, he started hitting you with 3 and 4 shots. But the first 6 rounds is one shot.
One shot.
A
One shot
hook
with the thumb.
or a leaping right hand. That's it.
Easy money, man. I mean, not entirely easy, but
Yeah, I
you know.
agree 1,000% with y'all. But you know how these judges is. If you're not a little bit active, they're not gonna try to give you no rounds.
And that's true. I see you got the youngins in the back. What's
I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised though that they had it that wide, considering it was
Hey,
one of
listen, they
Oh, that
had
one.
it that wide because if you look at the broadcast, what was they talking about mainly besides the boxers? The betting odds.
That's a good point. I didn't even pay.
the.
They was
I paid
talking
attention
about the
to it.
betting odds. Guess what? They
I didn't
said
even think
more
about
people betting on Lopez, but the bigger money is coming in on who?
it. Lomachenko.
Lomachenko. That was all the rich motherfuckers that were putting $100,000 down. It would have broke Vegas
Mm.
last night if Lomachenko won.
Right, right.
Crazy.
They
That's crazy, but that's a good ass point, yo.
Where
they
do y'all think
they
Lomachenko go
didn't
from here?
mind paying a little bit of money out that everybody had on Lomachenko. I mean Tiafimo, because they said all the kids are betting on Tiafimo.
Yo, let
Right.
me ask y'all a question. Big shout out to my man Haxes right here. As you can see, he shot $5. And thank you for the donation. Speak to the shots that Lopez landed throughout the fight. And why do you think no one mentions the headbutts? What do y'all think about that? You see the question on the bottom.
Me personally, I thought he should have
Listen,
went
the
to the body
headbut's
more.
gonna happen. It was a right hander and a southpaw. Foot
Yeah.
stepping on, knee to knee, headbutt. You
Yeah.
have to expect that
Yo,
with a
I feel like
southpaw and
Hey, hold on, hold
orthodox.
on, hold on. And for the viewers, I got a lot of viewers here. Just so y'all know, the guy talking right now is Rasheem Jefferson. He was a fantastic professional boxer, a hell of an amateur boxer. He beat guys like Loma, all them type of guys coming up in the amateur. So his opinion really matters right now. I just want everybody to say that. Go ahead, Rasheem, continue.
yeah, I'm listening. I'm trying to learn something right
Continue.
now.
So listen, the referee was crazy. Like how can you warn Lomachenko about a headbutt and I'm fighting an orthodox fighter? How? Watch your head. You can't leave it. He wasn't leading with the head. I seen him do dirtier fighting in different fights using an elbow, using different tactics. But he never been warned about it. It was just a pro Teofimo Lopez. And I understand Teofimo younger. He American. He looked better. He outspoken. Things like that. It was just a whole boxing experience right now.
Yep,
Last night was a whole boxing experience for the world of boxing. It wasn't just about that one fight.
that's true. This is how it is in boxing. You know what I'm saying? You don't see it the
Sure.
same as you don't see it the same in other sports as much as you do in boxing. It's so important to have a future You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
Aaron's boy is Lopez now. You know what I'm saying? What he look like giving, like letting this old dude, not saying old, he not old, but eventually he gonna be gone, and he gonna be gone before Lopez.
Exactly.
I
So
mean, he gonna be
listen,
definitely gone before Lopez.
Lomachenko win last night. He an undisputed champion. Probably fight 2 more times and he done.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
can't win off that. They can't win off that. Lopez got a whole career ahead of him.
Another 10 years to go.
Coach, do you
Exactly.
That sounds like y'all taking a lot of credit away from Teofimo. That sounds like y'all taking a lot of credit from
No.
Teofimo.
Hold on.
Teofimo for the great
Nah.
fight. A great fight. Listen, one thing about Teofimo that I said about the fight, I thought Loma was going to start faster, but
Mhm.
what he did start doing was trying to confuse the kid, right? And get him out of his game. And the kid stayed composed
Yeah.
the whole time. And if you ever see any of my other interviews, I said we gonna see if Teofimo really ready for that level, and he showed he was ready for that level
100%.
last night. He stayed
100%.
composed, even though he gave up the middle half rounds. The 12th round, he came out blazing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to leave it in the judge's hand. He
Yeah.
came out fighting. And for him to be so young, for him to have so many less fights, one world championship fight against Comey, winning by knockout, not going long, he showed that he belonged there for sure.
No
how did I
doubt.
see a
No
rematch? How
second
did I
best.
see
No
Moonshine?
second best.
It ain't gonna be a rematch because Teofimo just said no. Teofimo at the post-fight press conference said he ain't rematching.
Yeah. Look, check it out.
Nah,
Think about this.
no rematch, no rematch.
Think
Damn,
about this.
rematch.
Why would they put listen, why would they put him back in there with a dude? And I just asked Ant this question. Could you imagine if you had to spar with Lomachenko every day? How bad that shit would be after a while because he's so good at understanding what he's seeing in front of him and on fight night. Imagine if you got more than one time to see that shit. It's not going to be good for whoever he's fighting. So the best thing for Lopez to do is go be a star. Go up to 140.
For
You
sure.
already fighting at 135. Go be a star at 140. Knock them dudes off. Then later on, go up to 147. See how you feel. If you feel
No,
good up
he
there,
got chill at
good.
35 now. He got to get the Devin Haney and Tank out of there.
That's true.
Maybe. But check it out. Any of those things, stay away from Lomachenko at this point. He already
Yeah.
saw what you
I
got.
think Lomachenko go back down to 30. Listen,
Mhm.
my observation of the fight watching yesterday, I said, look, it looked like Boots sparring Sheem in there, man.
Yeah, he looked a little small.
He was too big for Lomachenko, man. Too big. Even the shoulder length was like crazy.
Mhm.
Right.
But even with all that, I still think if he has more opportunity to see the same thing, which obviously is going to be the case. I mean, they'll be a little bit more understanding of each other the next fight. But I think that favors Lomachenko on the experience and the ability. I think Teofimo is awesome, and I feel like he should just let that fight go. To
Yeah, I
be honest,
think so too. I think that's his plans from watching
I mean, as far if I was behind Teofimo, I would agree with y'all. But as a boxing fan, I would like to
of
see it.
course, yeah, of course. As a fan, I told you. You asked me,
Now, what
Ant,
do
you
you
can
think
tell me.
about what do you think about the shoulder roll? I thought Teofimo was doing a good job with the shoulder roll. I mean, he almost timed that uppercut a few times. I didn't see
Told
him
you.
making many mistakes yesterday.
yeah, his shoulder roll was on point, but Lomachenko knew what he was facing, and he knew that
Fucking
was one of his biggest assets in boxing. That
Mhm.
uppercut. So
Yeah,
he knew to stay away from it. You see, he stayed away from the right hand and he stayed away from that right uppercut.
What I say, Ant, I said exactly that.
Ricardo.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Teofimo
Yo,
took away
Moonshine, this is you.
Lomachenko.
Yo, pull over at White
Teofimo,
Castle.
Mhm. Damn, where Ant go?
Teo,
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
I can't have
yo,
Ant gone.
I I think Teofimo Lopez took away everything about Lomachenko. He took away his movement. He took away his high volume punches. He took
How
away
you
his
gonna say he
IQ.
took away his movement? His movement
No,
will help him.
definitely
He
not. I
didn't
can't
take
see that.
away no movement.
He took
No,
away
He
everything.
he
He took
took
away
away the
everything the first
offense.
half
He
fight.
took away Lomachenko offense.
He couldn't.
Lomachenko, huh?
He
you
couldn't
know,
find that angle. That's not Lomachenko. He couldn't move.
listen,
He
Every time he
could find the
pivot,
angle,
every
but he
I
was
time,
wish,
too.
every
He had
time
to be cautious when finding the angle. That's
I
what
when
wish
he
we
was
could
happened.
all watch it together, like at the same time in the same place, because I'm telling you, he didn't take away any of that stuff.
No.
Lomachenko just didn't do it
oh
because I'm
man, I
telling you,
don't know
he
what y'all was
knew.
watching now. I don't know.
You don't know what I was watching,
I don't know
dog.
what y'all was watching.
No,
I don't know
I
if y'all
feel.
don't watch a lot of Lomachenko. That was not
No,
Lomachenko. He couldn't even pivot. Every time he pivot, Lomachenko, I mean Teofimo Lopez
I know what he's trying to
simultaneously
say.
you
pivots
remember
with
I
him.
was telling him?
He's not trying to
It's
say. What
still
he's trying to say is he took away what Rel said, the offense. Moonshine was saying is he couldn't get
Exactly.
around
Because
him. He couldn't
listen,
get
when
around
Lomachenko
him.
make that move, he usually shoot off of the move. Or
Yeah,
shoot didn't make the move. The
right.
offense wasn't there, so he couldn't make
right.
the move. He was too cautious with throwing the offense so early on.
But
He
I
was too
think that was
cautious. I think
also
it
by design.
backfired on him.
I think that was by design though. Like I feel like he
Yeah,
was,
it definitely was by design.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like he wanted him to fall asleep on his offense. So he kept making certain moves and have him fainting, have him looking where he's going to be, what is he going to do, and then nothing comes. Then all of a sudden, 5 rounds later, all of a sudden the shot's coming on. Now he's so comfortable with nothing coming that he can't react. He's not ready to react. He's not prepared to react. He literally had him fighting a fight like he was fighting against somebody who wasn't going to punch ever. Then he started picking up. That's why he was able to land 4s and 5s and shit. He
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to do that if he didn't have him stood up for that whole first half of the fight. That's what I was saying.
If he tried that early on, it would probably wouldn't have been no later round.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. If he was able to do that,
Credit to Lomachenko. Credit to Lopez
For
for
sure.
neutralizing that.
100%.
right. If it would have been available, he would have taken it. But I still feel like he wanted to wait because he didn't want. Look, the real thing is, early on, Lopez, if he catches him with some of them shots early, he might get him out of there. And
For sure.
he knew that. So he's like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let this dude be him. I'm gonna let him go ahead and be comfortable. And then by 5, 6, I'm gonna start landing some shots on him. Let him know that
So
I'm in here.
so what y'all saying is that Lomachenko, even though he didn't throw enough punches in the beginning, he controlled his whole fight.
No,
That for
he
me,
controlled.
that for me, in my opinion,
No,
that's not
no,
giving credit to Teofimo
no,
Lopez.
no, no. He
If it's
knew
the
that he
first half of the
couldn't.
fight,
Nah,
hold on,
I'm
hold on.
not saying
If
that.
it's the first half of the fight that he dictated the pace and he didn't want to throw,
No,
then in the
No,
second
I didn't see. We didn't say he
half he
dictated
came
the
back
pace.
in,
How
then
can
that's
you
all
dictate the
Lomachenko.
pace
So
and you're not doing nothing?
right. No,
How
he
can you
didn't.
dictate the pace and you're
you
not doing that?
He had
dictate,
the
but
he
that
knew he had to watch.
Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, that's dictating the pace because he's taking away
Right,
what Lomachenko
right,
is. How Lomachenko is a
right,
high volume puncher. Lomachenko throws a lot of
right.
feints, and when
No,
Lomachenko was
Lomachenko is
throwing
a
those
late
feints,
starter.
He's a,
Lomachenko
when he
start
was
late
throwing,
every fight.
he does.
now
And we're not
he
saying
don't start late for 6 rounds. Come on, y'all. He don't start late
Not
for
six
six
that's
rounds.
what
rounds.
I'm saying. But
Six
that's what I'm,
rounds. He started after 6 rounds because Teofimo's power.
yes,
You
that's
gotta
what we're
listen to
saying.
what's going on. You just
That's
talking
what we're
because you
saying.
talking. You talking
Listen,
because you got lips and tongue and teeth.
Now I'm talking because I
stop,
watched the
man.
fight and everybody watched the same 6 rounds. The only thing what I'm listening is you saying that Lomachenko he didn't do this, he didn't do that. No, I'm saying Teofimo Lopez neutralized Lomachenko in the first half.
Right.
Lomachenko ain't
He
want to throw. Lomachenko ain't want to
Teofimo
throw because
power
of the man
definitely
in front of him.
neutralized Lomachenko.
right,
Lomachenko ain't throw
right,
because of the man in front of him. That's why.
right,
Teofimo
right.
power definitely neutralized Lomachenko. Yes,
And
you're
and it's because
absolutely
and
right.
what we're saying is he knew that, not that just because he wasn't offensive. No, we're saying because Lomachenko knew that he couldn't and he shouldn't fire at that time. You understand what I'm saying? it was a plan because he understood early on he can't be offensive. If he's overly offensive, he's gonna get caught and maybe get hurt. It's too dangerous. So he had to take his time, have him.
Let me ask you a question, Eddie. This question is for Eddie and Rashim because y'all were both professional boxers. Y'all been in this situation before. Do y'all believe that he went in there with the game plan to do what he did? I'm talking about Lomachenko now. Or did he feel something early as far as presence, a jab, something that made him say, you know what, I'm going to wait this out before I attack? Was it game planning backfiring on him? Or did something happen in the fight to make him say, I can't attack this kid this early?
I 100% think that he had a game plan to neutralize the power, but once he felt that the power was real, he had to go to plan B. Plan B.
What do you think he felt though? Because I didn't see anything devastating in the fight.
You don't even listen. The crazy thing about boxing is you don't gotta feel it. You can feel the wind. You can hear the shot. You can hear it. You can hear it coming past your face. You like, oh, I gotta slow down.
Yeah, I can tell you. I was in the gym with Shannon Briggs, and boy hit me with a shot that I blocked, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, you can hit your arm and be like, God damn, what do you got in his glove? You know what I'm saying? It was maybe a jab that hit his elbow, a jab that hit his arm that said, damn, it's a jab feeling like that. Imagine what the right hand feel like. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it was the power that basically made Lomachenko respect.
For sure, 100%.
And the way and the ability he had to and how to deliver it, like he knows how to apply it. His application of the shots or like second to none. So you 100%. Can't. So there's nothing about Lopez that I'm like understating. Like, it was all Lomachenko. No, what I'm saying is it's because of Lopez's ability that he had to wait so long. You know what I'm saying? He knew he was going to have to maybe take second for a few minutes, but he didn't think he was going to have to do it for that long. But he realized
Moonshine, you there still? I don't know. He's going in and out. But anyway, that was my thing. Because, I made a few posts yesterday on Instagram talking about the fight and basically stating that I thought it was a draw. And I had a lot of people saying, yo, what the fuck, what's wrong with you? How can you say that was a draw? You know shit about boxing. Now, my thing is, anybody who didn't have it a draw, in my opinion, don't know shit about boxing because I was paying attention to the little details of the fight. You think what I'm trying to say? And then when I hear from guys like you and guys like Rashim, who I know are students of the game like I am, it makes me say to myself, okay, I'm not bugging. Because I'm not by any means Lomachenko biased. I could care less about a Lomachenko. But I gotta honestly say I thought he got a draw, period. Like
there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's watching boxing.
So listen, how can they call you biased, me biased, or Eddie biased, or whoever in this live chat biased when you had a judge that had a 109 or 119? How can anybody be biased? That lady is biased. That lady should not have been judging that fight.
Hell no.
Because she was 100%, 130% Teofimo fan or biased or paid or whatever. You can ask anybody that sees boxing and they'll tell you Lomachenko controlled the second half. Teofimo controlled the first. Teofimo Lopez controlled the first. Lomachenko just controlled the second, and the 12th was Teofimo.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna say the same exact thing.
I mean, listen, the same thing Rel saying, the whole thing I'm on board with because this is what I was watching. This is why I was saying, and I'm not taking nothing away from Teofimo. I feel like he
sound like you
everything he gets. But what I'm saying about Lomachenko is the high level of understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's the mental part of it too. It's knowing when to be second. Nobody wants to be second, but you got to know when you're second. You can't step in there and just my ball's bigger than yours. I'm gonna beat you this way. I'm gonna beat you that way. You can't, because certain times this is not gonna happen. You gotta
What's next
understand.
for Lomachenko? Guys, let me ask you that. What's next for Lomachenko?
I think he go back down to 30 because the top 35s he can't handle.
So
It was a big
at,
size difference, huh?
Okay.
What happened?
who at 30 do you think you would like to see Lomachenko?
You got Shakur Stevens, you got Burchell, you got this guy, which will be
I would
an
like
easy
to.
shot for him.
Lomachenko to Shakur Stevenson would be a very nice fight to
For
see.
sure.
Yeah, hey, I would love to see that because that's high skill too.
That's a good one. I would like to. I don't know who I put that to. I probably edge that to with Shakur. What do you think, bro?
You know I'm going for Shakur, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm banging with Shakur, but
You
man,
want to see him win, but that's a tough fight, man,
that's
for
a tough
anybody in
fight,
the
man.
world.
All right, yo, let's switch this now. Let's talk about this right here. Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, Rasheen, go.
It's a good sparring match.
Who you got winning that sparring match?
I got Roy Jones winning that sparring match.
Woo!
I think.
God.
If it's a spar,
Listen, I think that Tyson went out with Kevin McBride ending his career.
oh,
You cannot reinvent yourself to come back and do a Roy Jones and somebody that's active in boxing. And Coach Ann, you know, we do it all the time. We just doing pads, but the pads are keeping our eyes focused.
mm-hmm.
We do pads all day, every day, but guess what? We get in there and box each other because
Right.
our IQ is still there from us holding pads.
Right.
And leading these guys to a perfect position and a perfect shot. So Roy Jones doing the same thing, training fighters. Know what I'm saying?
I forgot Roy Jones. Roy Jones is a trainer. I forgot that.
So he not absolutely out of the loop. He still got to think and use his brain for these fighters. Mike Tyson smoking weed. Know what I'm saying? Popping pills, doing all that shit. There's no, I don't care. You know and I know. We can hit the pads and look like $1 million. But when we get in that ring and had to start dipping and slipping shots and rolling and punching back, shit's just not there.
That could be true. That could be true. The only thing, if it's a spar and ain't nobody getting not hit hard enough to get knocked out, yeah, of course I like Roy Jones. But if he gets hit, we all see what happened to Roy when he gets hit.
For
And if
sure.
he get hit by
He
Mike,
ain't never lie. But what
gone.
about when he make Mike Tyson miss them few shots that he throwing? Know what I'm
Listen,
saying? And you know,
all Roy
when
Jones
you
about to
touching somebody, that's saving your energy. When you winging out and you missing, that's taking a lot of energy. Mike Tyson gonna say, man, fuck this shit. We seen it before. We seen Mike Tyson go crazy.
We did.
We
But look,
seen when Mike Tyson not having his way, him biting ears and him ready to slam a nigga. Know what I'm saying? We seen
100%,
that.
100%.
That
Even
craziness ain't go nowhere. That's still Mike Tyson.
you ain't gonna get no argument out of me on that. The only thing I'm saying is in 3 rounds or 2, maybe 2 now. Back in the day, it was 3. In 2 rounds, I want Roy to stay away from Mike for 2 rounds. Don't even throw a
For
punch.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that,
Yo, Eddie,
oh yeah.
vegetarian, he loses.
You try to get Roy to Lomachenko.
yeah, that's the
First
deal.
6 rounds, stay away.
Still, don't even touch him. Don't even breathe on him. Make him literally run around the ring to chase you. That's it. Then 3rd round, you got him. That's it. You know it.
It was up.
You got the youngin'. Oh, yeah.
Stamp right there.
The next generation right there.
Man, they said just cause Tyson ain't look good on the pads, that don't mean he winning. What do y'all feel?
Oh yeah. You ain't. Oh yeah. Look at him.
Yeah.
Throw some feints too. Don't forget those.
Yeah. But all right, bro. I'm gonna start bringing some of these people in here, man. It was good chopping with you.
All right, bet.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
stay tuned.
A lot of knowledge right there.
This link when it's done.
Huh?
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, Eddie. So that was dope. That was dope. Few people chopped in here. Guys, man, I'm gonna give you guys about, let's see, we're gonna be on here for just a little bit longer. Guys, there goes the link. Come in here if you're not scared. If you're not scared, click that link.
listen,
You are not scared.
I
Click
want to
that
say this,
link.
man. I want to say this, and I
Right.
don't want people to think like I'm being biased or whatever for Lomachenko. I'm just talking about the high level plan, the high level skill or the professionalism, because arguably the skill in Lopez was just as high or higher on that night. But it's the ability to download information and use it for the betterment of his fight game in the ring, his planning, his game day material, and his ability to go back to the corner, like going back to the huddle in football or in basketball, whatever, and getting a proper plan to go and take the second half of the game or fight. That's what I'm saying, and being able to execute it. I'm not saying that Lopez didn't do his thing, because he damn sure did. You know what I mean? But it's just the ability of Lomachenko to change the history of change the course of the fight. That's what was special, in my opinion, in that fight, and it really makes me respect him as an athlete even more now.
So you got more respect. You got more respect for him after this performance than you do after all the other good performances.
Because the other ones, in my opinion, didn't have a guy as good. In my opinion, I'm gonna say all of them, because I feel like when he fought Guillermo Rigondeaux, he was good. He was great, but he just was a little older, and he just wasn't. You know what I mean? He was too small. So he kind of got that same kind of treatment in this fight, but he was able to deal with it better. But Teofimo was just that nice that it forced Lomachenko to have to literally go in his bag. Plus, he was off for 14 months. You know what I'm saying? Lopez is nice, man. I always knew he was. I didn't think that Lomachenko was gonna get in this fight and just walk through it, like walk in there and make it easy. But I did think he was going to end up winning, which he very well could have. But once again, Lopez.
Can you explain the 12th round? Because I'm getting a lot of people asking about the 12th round. Can you explain the 12th?
Well, with 12th round, how it went?
Yeah.
I felt like Lomachenko felt like he had him in a spot. I think he felt like that 11th round was going to be similar to the 12th, and maybe even more so. Lopez took a deep breath, dug down, and said, "Nah, motherfucker, this ain't going to be like that." And he was countering, check hooking, he counter right uppercuts, everything. And he was landing some of them shits too. I felt like his best clean shots were landed in the 12th, which is crazy enough to think. As I was about to say, man, he about to stop Lopez, and he turned that shit all the way around in the 12th.
Right.
Yeah. He said, I see this one. He's like, I love the focus, and I think he's talking about obviously Teofimo like a lion going to his prey. Yeah, straight up. Focus all the time. Yeah. He was right. Like I said, man, I ain't taking nothing away from that kid. He was on point. And he would not have been able to beat a guy like that, no matter whether the dude was 14 months off or not. As elite as Lomachenko is, he wouldn't have been able to beat him if he wasn't ready. You know what I mean?
You there, champ? Alfonso? Not there. Okay. All right, what you were saying now, Eddie?
No, I was just saying Lopez, man. Like I know we talk a lot Lomachenko, how great he did and all this and that, even though he lost the fight. But I'm not taking nothing away from Lopez. Lopez is that dude. He got the win for a reason. He gonna beat, he's my pick against a lot of these dudes out here. Coach, he's one of the top pound for people too.
The weight or the rust for Loma? Do I think it was the weight or the rust for? I think there was some ring rust there. I don't know so much about the weight. I think that Teofimo was the bigger person. But at the end of the day, I think it was the ring. I think it was some ring rust, and I think it was just over game planning. I think that he took the game plan a little bit too far. I think sometimes you got to make decisions based on what's happening in the fight more so than just trying to follow a script. And I think that he might have followed the script a little bit, you know, to his detriment, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We got another guy here, Derek. Derek, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, champ?
Nothing much. Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what to say.
Well,
Come on, man. Don't be shy. Just talk, man. Don't even worry about it. Just say what you gotta say.
I don't know. I just wanted to say that, like I barely started boxing, but like I don't know. Like I just want to know like any simple tip. Like I just started from my garage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What you need? You need some help?
this shit right here, DB King. Hello, I'm 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you first.
all right, hello. All right, so you're 13 years old, and you want some words of encouragement because I am boxing from my garage, and you want to be a world champ.
Or like kind of like tips. Yeah, like that. Or something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how long have you been boxing?
Well, I barely started for like 2 weeks.
Are there any boxing gyms in your area?
No, it's like super far. And
Okay.
all I have is a heavy bag or that, that. And I'm trying to save up for a speed bag. But
Well, the number one tip I could give you is this, man. Go to my YouTube channel and start with the stance and then watch it. And then watch how to throw a jab. Watch that. Then a cross and then a hook and then so on and so forth. Just go down the line and just work on some basic things like a 1-2. Don't try to do a bunch of different boxing moves. Keep it very simple. You throw a jab, a cross, you learn your stance. There's a lot of information on my channel right now that you can go ahead and learn the basics. Also, if you go to my website, there's a free ebook on there that you can go ahead and download. And the free ebook gives you all the fundamentals, all the beginner stuff that you're going to need. So, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything. So that goes for everybody watching this right now. If you guys want some free information, go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. All right? Hold on.
yeah, thank you.
Hold on, champ. Don't leave.
Not yet.
All right, you go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com and get that free ebook. Watch it. And practice it right in your garage on your heavy bag. You know what I mean? And that's where I would start. You know, I would just start there. Eddie, what you got for him?
Honestly, man, it's there's some people that don't even have that to use in the beginning. You know, I mean, some people don't even have nothing to punch. They just shadow boxing and creativity. The fact that we got all this information out there for people to utilize and pick up, man, it's just it's great. It would be an awesome addition to your game, and it'll help you immensely. But I would say build from the ground up. You can't, no good foundation for a house or anything like that cannot be started from the top. You got to start it. You got to build from the ground up. And through what we have on YouTube and all of these things can really give you that foundation. Footwork first. Learn how to throw you down. Learn how to get the proper stance. Get your footwork working. Start with the jab. If it takes you 2 to 3 weeks to get your jab right, that's what you stay with. Then you move on to the next. And always review. Go back to your jab, see if it's still right. Put that right hand, then learn how to put that right hand with it. Piece it together. Take your time. Make sure your footwork is always tight first.
All right, Derek.
Yes.
All right, my website. Look, man, when you go on my website, right there, you see that? It says come out swinging.
Yeah.
Click on that. Put your email in there, and you'll get the free ebook, all right? And that'll give you a nice starting point.
All right. Thank
All right,
you. Yeah, because like I started, I was just going for like the combos and stuff, but like now I know like that's not the way to go because it's not gonna really help.
Yeah, take your time. Don't rush. Try to get all those fancy moves and all of that stuff that advanced guys are doing. Your footwork, start from there, then work your way up. Just like building a house.
Thank
all right,
you.
Derek. Take care, champ.
Too.
All right.
Eddie, question for you, man. We about to wrap this up soon, guys. So you guys got to get these questions in.
I mean, it could be. Sometimes when your feet are too wide, you can't really do anything. You know what I'm saying? If your feet get too wide, that's why at times Lomachenko was able to trap him. Not trap him, but you know what I mean? He was stuck in a certain position. And if say for example, when Loma, like I said in the first half of the fight, was fainting so much but not throwing anything, when Lopez would be sitting back, waiting on him to come, sitting back on that back foot heavy, looking for that right uppercut, he would sometimes get stuck because his stance was a little bit too wide. Because when your feet are too wide, if you stand right now and you spread your feet all the way out and you try to move, you're going to have to pick a foot up, put it under you so you can get that proper, spacing between your feet in order to get off or spin. Get off, pause. I say that. It can be a help at times, but you can get stuck. And I think that's what happened with Lomachenko. He got stuck a little bit at times, and that's why he was getting hit with 3s and 4s sometimes.
Yo, we got the Danilo. Let's bring him in here.
Young man.
What's good?
How's it going?
What's going on?
All right.
He's here just watching you guys live. Eddie Chambers, you actually I watched you coming up a little bit, man.
Oh yeah.
But, what I wanted to say was you actually brought some things to you brought some pointers that I really didn't see last night. Where I just thought Loma was just scared really the whole time. I didn't think about it like, okay, he's not throwing no jabs. He's not really trying to get to the side or angle like you said or anything like that. I felt as if Teofimo just had him like shook. Yeah. And then that part where you was like, yo, he was just like mesmerized by no punches and then coming with 5, 4. And I was like, dang. You really did bring that out. I thought he was just getting lucky, really.
Nah, man, it's like this, man. It's delicate planning, and because Lopez is so nice, man, and so sharp and so powerful and explosive, he knew that he had to sit on his offense for a while before he was going to be safe enough to throw shots. And it's not about being scared. When you at that level, you can't be scared. You just be respectful. You know what I'm saying? He was really respectful of what Lopez was bringing to the table. And he was like, man, if I go out there right now with this young lion and try to exchange with him, I'm getting knocked out. He's like, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to let him fall asleep at the wheel. And then I'm going to start attacking him. And then he's not going to be able to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ended up happening.
Right. I didn't see it that way. And I mean, I've actually been boxing for about 11 years, off and on. And
well, you experienced, you know what you're doing.
I get that respect. I get the respect part, But I just didn't see it like that. I don't know why. I just didn't. I felt when Loma started picking up, and I knew that he was gonna not come in just because of that power. And I bet it against Loma, just for that very reason. I was like, if he comes in, he's gonna get caught.
100%. And he knew that too. That's why it took him so long. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you in there, you got to do. They can crack like stupid, got stupid power and explosive ability, right? You like, man, some dudes will just stay on their back foot all night and just let him have it. He knows that he cannot do that. Plus, he knows he's like, I'm nice too, nigga. I get in there and I'm gonna do what I do. But I'm just gonna make sure when I do it that I'm finishing. And that's what he was thinking that he was gonna happen. But I give all the credit to Lopez because he came in that 4th round and shocked me. Because I thought he was about to get stopped at one point, like straight up. But
I didn't see that either. I didn't think he was gonna get stopped. I thought he would just, I don't know. I didn't think he was gonna get stopped. I just thought he was gonna start losing. That was it. I just feel like he got a chin though. I feel like Lopez has a chin.
He's tough, man. Look, nobody at that level is no sucker. Trust me. Even if his chin wasn't nice, he was like, I'm gonna stand in here and we gonna fight. That's what I really, even more than his skill, his power and speed and all that. Really respect is hard enough to stand there and willing to be in there with a really a Hall of Famer at this point in Lomachenko. And it's not just it's the way he did it too, and the fact that it was in the 12th round when it was like really check time.
That was pretty good. I like when he was like, come on, like he was, you know what I'm saying? Bit down, was like, let's get it.
Let's go. That's what it's all about. You gotta be able to do that, man, when it comes down to it. Now, see, this is the thing. Going forward in his career, I would still stay away from Lomachenko. That's my opinion. But going forward, you know that he has that. Yeah, no doubt. Because it's like like I was saying earlier, the rail and in the end, like a dude like Lomachenko, you fight him once, you get him, just take that. Unless he old, just take it.
You think that he should fight like So I saw with Devin Haney. You think he should fight Devin Haney? How you think he would do with him?
Lopez? That'd be a great fight.
Really good fight. That's a
That
really
would
good
be,
fight. I like that
super
fight.
high level. That's stupid high level. I look at Devin Haney. He is nice. He's nice too. Damn.
But
This is the
after Teofimo fighting Loma, you think that he has a new look on,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. His confidence is going to be he's way up right now with it. So that's great. And we know that now he's been tested at the highest of the highs. So when he get in there with a dude even nice as Devin Haney is, we know where he stands.
Right.
And he's already explosively powerful. It's going to be tough for Devin if they get in there. But, I mean, that's a hell of a fight, too. Now, that one is going to be really, really difficult. And maybe it might be one of those fights where you look at it like, I don't know if I want to sit here and watch this, but I know I'll enjoy it.
Right.
People will. But I'm just saying.
Where you from, Chad?
Originally from New York, bro, but I came down here when I was like 7. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, actually.
Okay. All right. That's what's up, brother. Shout out to you. I'm about to bring somebody else in.
Oh, that's
Take
fine,
it easy,
man. Hey, thank you for having me.
All right, take care.
You know he's watching. You know what he know. You know what he's looking at.
Logan.
Yo, what's good, bro?
We had Joe Rogan in here. I was like, oh, we got Joe Logan. What's good, Joe Logan?
Joe Logan. I'm chilling, man. Just big up. I want to big up Coach Anthony real quick, man. I fuck with what you do, man. I'm always locked in. You know what I mean? I'm coming from stand-up fighting, Muay Thai, boxing, that kind of stuff. So I lock in. I'm picking up moves on a daily. You know what I mean? So big up for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. About yesterday, I just want to know, what do you guys think? Like, so I know Loma turned up late. That was my opinion. I think he turned up late. But, like, now, if the fight were extended, 15 rounds, what happens? 15 rounds, how does it go?
To me, even though, like, I like what Lopez did in that 12th round. So, but I just don't know if he can sustain that, especially what Lomachenko already had going in the previous 5 rounds. So it depends on who's still in there, who's fresher, who's better equipped to deal with that 15-round distance, which I felt like Lomachenko, regardless of what Lopez did in that round. I'm not saying I'm overlooking it, but I just feel like his at that point pressure.
I'm bringing Moonshine in here. I'm bringing Moonshine because you really don't mess with Teofimo, and I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I fucks with him heavy. I like that kid, man. I liked him even before the fight. It's just that I'm just looking at Lomachenko.
Be honest as you possibly can right now, and you honestly believe. I believe that. There's nothing wrong with that because I can see it that way also.
Yeah, I'm telling you what I say. Like,
look. You know what? Hold on, not to cut you off, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say is, Joe Logan.
What up?
If Lomachenko would have started fast,
mm-hmm.
I think Teofimo could have stopped him.
That's what I'm saying.
But as the fight progressed, if it was a 15-rounder, I think Lomachenko could have stopped Teofimo. But at the same time, we saw that Teofimo buzzed Lomachenko a little bit in that 12th round, made him respect him. It's one of those fights where you just don't know.
I'm saying,
one of those fights where there's only one way to find out, and that's to see it again. I know Eddie's over here preaching this run to the sunset. I wanna see it again. I don't need Eddie putting things in Teofimo's there. Fight him again.
Fight him again.
Why not? Listen, it's not like he won by. I mean, it's not like he can't win again.
Mm-hmm.
He could win again, 100%. I just don't think he would. But I feel like if the fight happened again, ain't nobody gonna benefit more than me. I want to see that shit again. I'd love to see that again. I just feel like I want to see Lopez continue doing what he do, and I don't want him to get in there and even if he was, say he was able to win, great. But why give him? And I hate being like this. I hate being like this because now I'm thinking business wise, not necessarily boxing fan wise. But why would he now put himself in that position after he already passed that test? It's like, okay, well, I got a 1,600 on my
You're the champion.
Yeah.
Or you deserve a rematch. But then again, champions. I forgot about that.
He does. He absolutely does.
Yeah.
He does. But if it wasn't in the contract, dog, like you got to write that shit before we take that fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
because if I feel like if he fights Lomachenko again, it's like I just said, how many times I said it. If I had to spar that dude every day, I'd be like, man, I'd be a lot of people that would quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you give him too many times. How you can't keep fucking with, like, you can't keep poking the dragon and shit and think you're gonna keep being you ain't gonna get the fire and shit. You gonna let him go. Just let it go. You won. You already slayed him. Go slay somebody else now.
Yeah, it's true. That 12th, man. I mean, Lopez held his ground though, because it looked like that's where Loma said, "Okay, if I clutch this 12th, then I'm gonna get this." Like it could have been his, but it seems like Lopez knew that. He's like, "No, I'm not allowing that. I'm not allowing that." He still he just like Anthony was saying, he came back in that 12 and said, "Nah, it ain't. I'm gonna seal the deal here. I'm gonna seal it." So.
And what happens in the next 3 rounds? Lopez showed that he came with the heart, the will, the skill, the everything to win.
Yeah.
That. So, and Lomachenko showed that he bought that also. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like asking me, who do you think is gonna win, Sugar Ray Leonard or Floyd Mayweather? Like, you have to watch it again for it to really. That's the only way, man.
Fair enough. Yeah,
great
I see that.
Great. Gotta love it.
I just have one question, Anthony. If I could ask one question before I cut, man. Like, can you give any advice for, like, just give me this: the best combination for a shorter fighter against a taller fighter, for you, your opinion.
Jab to the body, overhand right. Jab to the body. I love that combination against a taller guy. You stab them to the middle. Yep. Get them to drop their hands. Bring that shot over the top.
Right over. Yeah.
Like that.
You gotta make sure you got good technique and good power when you do it, and good head movement, because you gotta slip your head when you throw that jab to the body. You can't throw the jab to the body from the middle. You gotta slip in and then rip that shot around the side. I think if I had to choose one, that's the one I'm choosing.
Okay, yeah. I'm always using that overhand. So yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. Hey, appreciate y'all, man. For real, man. It's real, for sure.
No problem.
Love, man.
Take care, my brother.
All right.
Luke. Yeah, man. That's cool. Hold on. I'm gonna give you one more shot, Alfonso. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1.
Damn.
All right.
You can't get on.
2 tries, man. I gave him 2 tries. But everybody, there you have it. That's our thoughts on Lomachenko, Lopez, man. We had a lot of people in here tonight. The numbers did really well. I want to say thank you guys so much for the donations. I want to say thank you guys for the support. And guys, when I put that link down there and I tell you guys to come in here, don't be scared, man. Get in here, chop it up with us. Let's talk some boxing, ask questions. This is an opportunity for you guys to pick our brain. You know what I'm saying? And just learn. You know what I mean? Everything doesn't always have to be instructionals on my on my YouTube channel. Sometimes you can just get directly to us and chop it up, man. But we're gonna talk some more. Eddie, man, tell me anything you want to say before it's time to log out of here.
Comment of the day was that nigga on the toilet. That shit still got me laughing.
Funny.
This is a curtain in my dining room. That is not the bathroom. That shit still got me laughing, dog.
I would put it on the screen. Oh, listen. So my man right here, I just came, man. Where are you going? Listen, as soon as this live is over and I end the broadcast, it shoots right up to my YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and watch it later on. If you guys get ahead, please share the channel, show love. So, you know what I mean? Listen, this is so, you guys know, man. And follow me on Instagram. Follow Eddie on Instagram. But definitely, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I'm a lot more active on Instagram than I am on YouTube, even though YouTube is my bigger platform. So you guys can actually go to my Instagram and keep up with me, because I actually posted on Instagram that I was doing this a few hours ago before I did it, to give everybody a heads up. I'll try to give you guys a bigger heads up next time. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and we'll keep this going, man. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. You know what I mean? And that's it. But yeah, Eddie. Till next time, champ.
Yes, sir. Loving it.
Boxing life.